Hello there. I'm glad you stopped by. I could use your help with an important matter. An astute question. Allow me to explain. I serve as an assistant to the Overseer, gathering information about the people here in Appalachia. We're especially interested in the settlements known as the Crater and the Foundation. The growth and development of these settlements is vital to the rebuilding effort, and so we constantly monitor their progress. To that end, I'd like you to take photographs that will help to keep us informed. Naturally, I'll compensate you for your efforts. So, are you interested? While I've never traveled to the settlements myself, I've heard quite a bit from visitors and radio broadcasts. The settlers at the Foundation are quite hospitable. They rely on cooperation and trust, sharing collaboratively in the rebuilding effort. The Crater settlement was built from the wreckage of an old space station that crashed to the Earth not far from here. The raiders who live there are a violent group where the strongest rule, and they've claimed Appalachia as their turf. Excellent. Now, which of the two settlements do you intend to visit? Excellent choice. I find those folk to be most agreeable. Now, let's discuss what we need in detail. You've met Paige, yes? The success of the Foundation settlement owes much to his steady leadership. It is therefore necessary that we keep well apprised of his condition. A photograph would serve that purpose well. It goes without saying that a reliable source of water is vital to the survival of any large settlement. Spruce Knob Lake is fairly close to Foundation, and if the water were properly purified, could prove valuable should the settlement grow. If you could provide a recent image of the lake, we'd be most grateful. And that's all we need for now. Good hunting, and do be careful.
Time to chat.
What can I do for you? Well, I oversee all the construction. I'm in charge of that much, at least. This place needs to get big and safe fast. Sometimes people need a little nudge, or a little encouragement, or sometimes just a swift kick in the pants. That's where I come in. Plumbing. Water is a big deal. Gotta bring it in, clean it up, distribute it, then take it away and dispose of it. You can always tell a well-run town by the quality of its plumbing and water. There's not too much to tell. Everyone does what they can around here. Even Davy lends a hand. That's not to say we expect him to be self-sufficient, of course. He's a kid. We can always use more hands. Seems like as soon as we fix one thing in this place, another breaks.
Repping the cutthroats?
Maybe. Who's asking?
Name's Repo. I'm repping the diehards.
Frank. So, what's this all about?
It's about survival. Our gangs are getting picked off one by one.
Yeah, by other gangs. Nothing.
All of that it's got nothing to do with Trevor.
Gourmands. Hate each other to death.
Gourmands. Trappers, help. All of us.
Yeah. It's a rough world. I get it. So what's your point?
My point is, we need to band together, okay? Watch each other's backs. We don't, we might end up in the field. Staying alive? You understand what I mean?
Don't ever me again.
That gun at me again is not going to solve anything.
I'll get you to shut the hell up. Kill Repo? Shoot him!
What are you doing? No need for tape.
It's just a little insurance, in case you need a reminder about the terms of our agreement here.
Whatever. You do what you want. He's worthless anyway. Now go on. Let us talk tape.
Sure. Like I said, I'll give you all the guns, ammo, and other supplies I took and hid away from Foundation. If, and only if, you ruin any chances of your people breaking into that vault. You get it all once you get me that detonator, so I can break in myself and bring the goods back to Foundation. You'll have to let me back in then.
Yes. I get location of gun stash. You get the going foolish shit there.
You know, you and your crew could always help me break in. Get a nice cut of the treasure, right?
No. Vault gold is useless. You will see. Ammo.
You're missing out, but I guess we'll have to agree to disagree.
Look, as long as you pay up after job is done, I won't regret not killing you when we found you. You can always come back to that if you're lying about stash.
No lies, sir. Understood. We got ourselves an agreement then. Pleasure doing business with you.
Lev.
You've returned. you have the photographs I asked for? Ah, very good, very good. I did promise a reward, so please accept these caps in gratitude for your service. A fair point, and one I cannot disagree with. I'll increase the reward. Here are your caps. Come and see me again, and I might have more work for you.
I know there's a restricted section of the university. You think the students never noticed who comes and goes?
It does not matter what you may have seen or heard before you graduated Overseer. That is not my concern. Oh, I see one of your residents has arrived. Come here. We need to discuss this ridiculous request of yours.
Glad you're here. Maybe the two of us together can talk some sense into this machine.
The Overseer mentioned there would be more people coming. I was programmed to run this university in the event of the Dean's absence. He is absent, therefore I am running it. Assuming there even is a restricted section, and I am not verifying that, neither of you have Vault-Tec University. Credentials? Faculty and staff determine who goes where in this university. Nah, former students.
I might be the only human being connected to this place that's still alive. My authority doesn't override yours?
No, it does not. And for the record, I was the dissenting opinion on fast-tracking your overseer assignment. You are not pushing your way through me. The condition of the outside world is not my problem. I see. Neither of you are going to relent. Very well. There is a problem you can help me with. This university needs graduates, and while your overseer has already been through the program, you are living and breathing enough to join this year's class.
This is ridiculous. Even if we had 4 years to waste, which we don't, the university is empty. There's no professors anymore.
Emergency protocols allow the Mr. Handy janitorial staff to run entrance straight through to the final exam. Their ability to run the vault simulation is experimental, but more than adequate for the task. You will be given a scenario that you need to accomplish in the vault simulation area. The handies will play as the residents you need to oversee. Producing quality graduates is the very foundation of my purpose. A purpose that has gone unfulfilled for far too long. Glad we agree. In this test scenario, your vault has divided into factions. You must resolve the conflict any way you see fit. Your chief of security will fill you in on the details. Good luck.
I'm not familiar with this test scenario. Professor Bott must have come up with it on his own. A vault simulation run by robots. Be prepared for anything. Just remember, the goal of all these simulations is to keep the vault running, and under your authority.
You the new Overseer? Heck of a boiling pot you're stepping into. Little tiff between the engineers and the med staff is ready to blow. I don't quite know how to respond to that. Getting back to it, there was a reactor leak. Kellerman, head engineer's apprentice, rushed in to fix it. Poor kid got a full dose of rads. That's not the worst of it. Dr. Loris, head of the medical team, refused to send in help. Quarantined the reactor area so nobody died trying to go in there. Head engineer Brass accused the doctor of murder. Then, a couple days later, people noticed that one of the doctor's assistants, Estella, was missing. Everyone thinks it's a revenge killing. An eye for an eye. No. There's no evidence, no weapon, not one speck of blood. I'm at a loss, Overseer. Need you to make sense of all this. Sorry I couldn't be of more help. I'll be here if you need me, Overseer.
Overseer, I'm so glad you've stepped into this little mess of ours. I'm sure you'll resolve the matter swiftly. I don't have a feud with Brass. He has a feud with me. I'm only doing my job, Overseer, looking out for the health of the Vault. And I'm sorry to say that, in my medical opinion, the chief engineer is suffering from paranoia and revenge fixation. We can't let that fester. Simple. You can authorize me to place the head engineer under medical supervision. A combination of chems and therapy will do the rest. There might be some protest, but I think our combined authority will keep that to a minimum. An ideal solution, Overseer. I'd expect nothing less from you.
Yes, Overseer? I do. Huh?
And why's that?
I think about Dr. Loris all the time, what he did, what he should have done. I'll admit, my mind hasn't been on much else. But what do you expect me to do, huh? Submit to Loris and his team, you mean? Didn't expect this from you, Overseer. But I get it. The wind's gotta blow in one direction, just figured I'd be on the right end of it. I'll go quietly. Time for a long walk to Loris's office. All right, Loris. You win. Overseer's made a decision.
This isn't about who wins, Brass. This is about getting you the treatment you desperately need.
Yeah, whatever. Let's just go.
It's always ugly choosing sides, but it's better than letting factions divide the vault. Good work.
Well, it appears you passed the test, barely exceeding my low expectations of you. Yes, I suppose we had a deal. You are officially a graduate of Vault-Tec University, entitled to access to all areas. Back down in the vault, simulation space is a maintenance area. It conceals a secondary room that I believe will have what you are looking for.
It was almost good to see you again, Professor Bott.
Yes, Overseer, I suppose it was. Congratulations on one of your residents passing the program. You must be proud.
Actually, I am. Afraid I don't have my old cap and gown to share with you. Hopefully, what we'll find in the restricted wing will be even better.
Sam's time.
trade since time immemorial. And in the event of nuclear war, this precious resource will once again become invaluable to rebuilding America's economic future. That is why Vault-Tec has been commissioned to build a different and very real vault. Named for the atomic number of the metal it will guard, Vault 79 will be the new home for all of America's gold reserves. Fort Knox will secretly be retired and emptied. Its gold bullion transported to the new vault, where it will be safe behind Vault-Tec's top-of-the-line automated security. Biometric recognition to verify authorized personnel. Sophisticated laser grid fields to ward off intruders. And, in the unlikely event of a breach, military-grade defensive turret systems built in partnership with our friends at Robco. All of this, along with Vault-Tec's signature lead-line containment walls, airtight construction, fusion-powered generators, and automated manufacturing facilities. Vault 79, a golden future for the America we all know and love. Brought to you by Vault-Tec.
For once, the rumor mill gets it right. There is a treasure in that vault. All of America's gold reserves. Not as much today, but that's just it. Put aside the base instinct of hoarding wealth. What could we do with a vault full of precious metals? Hear me out. What has gold always been used for in human history? Money. We could create our own currency. One with a legitimate authority backed by a real resource. No more barter or wild, unregulated proxies. It won't happen overnight. But one day, we could have leverage to create a new economy. Property rights, taxes, laws. A government. I doubt it. I think something must have gone wrong. The American government should have come to reclaim the gold. They should be here, but there's no point worrying about all that. We need to get into that vault ourselves, and more importantly, we need help to do it. Fortunately, you just made contact with two large groups of people who both seem to have their own talents. America's gold reserves are in that vault. Even getting into the vault at all is gonna be a challenge, let alone dealing with that buffet line of intrusion countermeasures. But the reward? Put aside the base instinct of hoarding wealth. What could we do with a vault full of precious metals? Just listen, as closely as you can. What has gold always been used for in human history? Money. We could create our own currency. One with a legitimate authority backed by a real resource. No more barter or wild, unregulated proxies. It won't happen overnight, but one day we could have leverage to create a new economy. Property rights, taxes, laws. A government. Our mission is to rebuild this country, remember? We were an economic powerhouse once. We could be that again. And it could start right here, in Appalachia. We won't be able to do it alone. We need help. Even more importantly, we need people to buy in. See that gold is their future. Fortunately, you just made contact with two large groups of people who both seem to have their own talents. Do me a favor, talk to both of them. I doubt they'll work together, but we'll want all the options on the table.
Appalachia belongs to us. Looks like your little inoculation worked like a charm. We've established your usefulness, but don't mistake our gratitude for hospitality. Yet here you are. It tells me you're not here just to waste my time. You want something. And it must be important, else you wouldn't be barging in here like you run the place. Out with it. Well, if that don't pique my interest, please, go on. What exactly, pray tell, is inside this Vault 79? This is a fascinating turn of events, ain't it? The things I could buy with that gold. You know, I heard rumors about it round here. Of course, the last sucker who tried to use the location of the trove as a bargaining chip is still dangling from a wire outside as we speak. Liars get wires, you dig? So let's pretend for a moment I don't believe you. What you got to convince me? You ain't wrong. Getting into one of them... Let's pretend for a moment I don't believe you. What you got to convince me? You ain't wrong. Getting into one of them vaults sure would set us up for a while. Shit. You know I could just kill you and take this, right? You got a lot to learn before you can roll with us, 7-6. Ooh, I like the cut of your jib. Maybe there is hope for you. Toss it up on the board and let's see what you got here. You want something? You take it. It's the only way to live. Come on, toss those vault plans up on the board for me. Alright. Seems pretty legit. I assume you're coming to me because we got the skills to get into this here vault. But you know, we ain't gonna do this out of the goodness of our hearts, baby doll. Oh, no. I'm gonna expect a significant cut of the goods inside. So we're gonna have ourselves an agreement here, see? I supply the people power. You supply the location. We all get inside, we nab the goods, you get a nice fair little cut, and we all make out like bandits, you dig? Showing your cards early, 7-6. Look, I may be a nasty cutthroat survivor, but I stick by my word. I won't yank your chain. Not like that bitch Rose. I don't know, 50% of whatever we take in? Now remember who's gonna do all the heavy lifting in there. If the treasure's half as good as you say, it should be more than enough to set you up for life. And if you impress me enough, maybe you get to roll with us. That is, long as you're cool with people calling you a raider. Yeah? Well, I'd like my mama back from the dead in a world that ain't burned up like a post-nuclear turkey dinner. We don't always get what we want. Look, I know it ain't what you want to hear, but maybe you get a little bonus if you prove you're worth it, alright? So, first things first. We gotta have a plan to crack that big-ass vault door wide open, right? Easy peasy, light and breezy. That's a job for Lucky Lou, our demo expert. If he can't explode it, then it ain't from this earth. Now, Lou can be a real shut-in, on account of his, skin condition. But I trust him more than just about anybody. Why don't you go see him in his room down below? Introduce yourself. Fill him in on the plan, then do whatever prep work he needs you to do, you dig? Right on, 7-6. Do your thing. Just try to keep this on the down low, alright? I don't want the entire camp knowing what's going on yet. Only tell who I say to tell, you dig? You come to me all in a hurry. Now you're taking your sweet-ass time hanging around here. I don't get you, 7-6. Come to think of it, I haven't seen Lou in a while. Oh well. At least he's got you to check up on him.